Have you ever looked at the photo of someone who died young and quietly asked yourself, why did their life end so soon? Maybe it was a child full of innocence, a young man with beautiful dreams, or someone you personally loved with all your heart. In those painful moments, the human mind searches desperately for answers. We wonder why some people live long lives while others disappear before they even begin truly living. And perhaps the most painful part is not death itself, but the feeling that life suddenly became incomplete. One moment everything feels normal, and the next moment, one phone call changes everything forever. A family breaks into tears, a mother loses her son, a child loses a parent, and the heart silently cries, "This should not have happened." Many people begin losing faith after such experiences because early death feels unfair and impossible to understand. But what if life is deeper than what we see with our eyes? What if the soul's journey is far greater than a single lifetime? The spiritual wisdom inspired by Paramahansa Yogananda teaches us that the soul does not measure life by years, but by growth, awareness, and inner evolution. Some souls may stay longer, while others complete their purpose in a shorter time. This does not remove the pain of loss, but it gives a new way to understand it. Today, in this video, we will gently explore one of life's deepest mysteries: why some people die young, through spirituality, karma, consciousness, and the hidden journey of the soul. And perhaps, by the end, your heart may find a little more peace. Most people believe their greatest fear is death. But deep inside, what truly hurts the human heart is separation. It is the pain of unfinished conversations, unfulfilled dreams, and the sudden absence of someone we thought would always be there. A father dreams of watching his daughter grow up. A mother imagines holding her child for many years. And two people in love plan an entire future together. But life does not always move according to human expectations. Sometimes, without warning, everything changes in a single moment. One accident, one illness, one unexpected event, and a person who was laughing yesterday becomes only a memory today. This is the hidden emotional wound that many people silently carry. We are not only grieving the person we lost, we are grieving the future we imagined with them. And because the human mind sees life only from the physical level, early death feels cruel, meaningless, and unfair. We ask questions that echo in silence. Why would God allow this? Why would an innocent person leave so early? What was the purpose of such pain? These questions can create anger, confusion, and even distance from spirituality itself. But spiritual wisdom teaches us something very different. It says the soul's journey cannot be measured by time alone. A long life does not always mean a fulfilled soul, and a short life does not mean a meaningless one. Some people live for 80 years without deeply touching a single heart, while others live for 20 years and leave behind love, transformation, and inspiration that continues for generations. The soul measures life differently than the ego does. The ego counts years, achievements, and possessions, but the soul values growth, awareness, compassion, and awakening. Sometimes a soul comes into this world not to stay forever, but to teach others something profound about love, gratitude, and the fragile beauty of life itself. When someone dies young, the human mind immediately searches for a logical explanation, but many times logic alone cannot heal the pain inside the heart. Spiritual wisdom teaches us that life is not random chaos and death is not the true end of existence. The body may disappear, but consciousness continues its journey beyond the physical world. Just as a person changes old clothes and wears new ones, the soul also moves from one experience to another. The problem is that most people see life as only one short chapter, so when tragedy happens, it feels meaningless and unfair. But according to the deeper spiritual understanding inspired by Paramahansa Yogananda, the soul has lived many experiences across many lifetimes. Every soul comes into this world carrying lessons, energies, desires, and unfinished spiritual growth. Some souls stay longer because they still have much to experience, while others complete important inner lessons in a shorter period of time. This does not mean we should ignore grief or pretend pain does not exist. Even spiritually awakened people feel sadness when someone leaves this world. Love naturally mourns separation, but wisdom slowly transforms suffering into understanding. Sometimes a soul's short life awakens deep compassion in an entire family. Sometimes loss pushes a person towards spirituality, prayer, meditation, or inner transformation. There are moments when pain becomes the doorway to awakening because comfort alone rarely changes people deeply. A person may spend years chasing money, success, or temporary pleasures, but one painful experience can suddenly make them realize what truly matters in life. Spirituality teaches that every experience, even painful ones, carries hidden meaning for the evolution of the soul. We may not understand everything immediately, and some mysteries may remain beyond human understanding. But slowly we begin to see that life is not only about how long we live. It is about how deeply we awaken, how sincerely we love, and how much consciousness grows within us during the time we are given. One of the deepest spiritual ideas connected to early death is karma. But karma is often misunderstood by many people. Karma is not punishment from God, and it is not revenge from the universe. Karma is simply the law of cause and effect working through consciousness. Every thought, every action, every emotion, and every intention creates energy, and that energy eventually returns in different forms throughout the soul's journey. In the same way that a seed grows into a tree over time, human actions also create future experiences, sometimes immediately and sometimes across many lifetimes. This is why spirituality teaches that life cannot be fully understood by looking at only one lifetime. A kind person may suffer greatly while a selfish person may appear successful and healthy. And to the human mind this feels unfair. But spiritually, we are only seeing one small scene from a much larger story. Inspired by the wisdom of Paramahansa Yogananda, we begin to understand that the soul carries unfinished lessons, emotional patterns, and karmic energies across lifetimes. Some souls may choose difficult experiences for spiritual growth, while others may return to complete lessons left unfinished in previous journeys. There are also inner emotional patterns that silently shape human life. Constant anger, stress, hatred, fear, hopelessness, and emotional pain slowly disturb the harmony of the mind and body. Many people do not realize how deeply their inner state affects their life energy. On the other hand, peace, meditation, forgiveness, gratitude, and spiritual awareness strengthen the nervous system, calm the heart, and bring balance to the soul. This does not mean spirituality guarantees a long life, because every soul still has its own destiny and timing, but it changes the quality of life completely. A spiritually awakened person may leave this world early, yet carry peace instead of fear. And sometimes that peaceful consciousness becomes a powerful inspiration for everyone left behind. Karma is not meant to create fear inside us. Its purpose is to awaken responsibility, awareness, and deeper understanding. It reminds us that every moment, every thought, and every choice matters in the long journey of the soul. If we observe life carefully, we begin to notice that certain people seem to change shortly before they leave this world. Sometimes they suddenly become quieter, more loving, or strangely peaceful. A person who spent years holding anger may begin forgiving everyone. Someone who rarely expressed emotions may suddenly start speaking from the heart. They reconnect with old friends, spend more time with family, or speak deeply about life and love as if the soul quietly senses something the mind cannot fully understand. These moments often leave people wondering whether the soul somehow knows when its earthly journey is coming to an end. There are also people who survive near-death experiences and return completely transformed. Before facing death, they may have been obsessed with money, status, competition, or material success. But after coming close to losing life, their priorities suddenly change. They begin valuing peace, relationships, prayer, simplicity, and spiritual growth. It is as though one moment of facing mortality removes years of illusion. Inspired by the wisdom of Paramahansa Yogananda, we can understand that death often becomes a spiritual mirror that reveals what truly matters in life. There are also heartbreaking real-life situations where the loss of someone young transforms an entire family forever. A father who never had time for his children suddenly realizes the emptiness of chasing only success. A person who lived selfishly may become deeply compassionate after experiencing loss. Sometimes tragedy opens the human heart in ways comfort never could. Consider a man who spent his entire life building wealth while constantly postponing time with his loved ones. Then one unexpected day, he lost his young daughter in an accident. In a single moment, everything he once considered important lost meaning. For months he lived in grief and darkness. But slowly, through silence, prayer, and reflection, he began to awaken spiritually. He realized that life was never guaranteed and that love should never be postponed. His pain eventually transformed him into a kinder, more conscious human being. This does not mean suffering is good or that loss should be celebrated. It means that even the deepest pain can become a doorway to awakening when the soul chooses wisdom instead of bitterness. When someone dies young, the first and most important thing we must allow ourselves to do is grieve honestly. Many people try to appear strong by suppressing their emotions, but true healing does not happen by pretending the pain is not there. Tears are not weakness. Grief is the natural expression of love. When the heart loses someone deeply important, it needs time to process the silence, the memories, and the emptiness left behind. Spiritual wisdom does not ask us to stop feeling pain. It teaches us how to move through pain with awareness and compassion. Inspired by the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda, we learn that suffering can either close the heart or awaken it. The choice slowly becomes ours. Instead of asking only, "Why did this person leave?" we can gently begin asking, "What did their life teach me?" Sometimes a person who leaves early teaches us to value time more deeply. Sometimes they awaken love, gratitude, forgiveness, or spiritual awareness within us. Their physical presence may disappear, but the lessons they leave behind continue shaping lives forever. One of the wisest ways to heal is to start living more consciously ourselves. Many people postpone happiness, postpone peace, and postpone love, believing there will always be more time tomorrow. They delay spending time with family, delay following their heart, and delay taking care of their inner life. But death reminds us that life is uncertain and fragile. This realization is not meant to create fear. It is meant to awaken presence. Speak kindly while you still can. Forgive before it becomes too late. Tell people you love them while they are still here to hear it. Spend moments in silence, prayer, meditation, or reflection because inner peace becomes the greatest strength during painful times. Caring for your emotional and spiritual well-being is also important. A calm mind, a compassionate heart, and a spiritually balanced life create deep inner resilience. And perhaps most importantly, remember that love does not end with physical death. The soul connection created through genuine love continues beyond the body. Even when someone is no longer physically present, the love shared with them remains alive within the heart forever. The deepest spiritual lesson hidden behind death is the realization that we are not merely physical bodies living temporary lives. Human beings often become so attached to the outer world that they forget their true nature. We identify ourselves through age, appearance, success, relationships, and possessions. But spirituality gently reminds us that beneath all of these changing experiences exists something eternal, the soul. Inspired by the wisdom of Paramahansa Yogananda, we begin to understand that the soul was never born and can never truly die. The body changes, ages, and eventually disappears, but consciousness continues its journey beyond the physical world. When this understanding slowly enters the heart, fear begins to lose its power. Death no longer appears only as destruction. It begins to look more like a transition, like a traveler moving from one room into another. This does not completely remove sadness because human love naturally feels separation, but it brings meaning to suffering. And meaning has the power to heal the heart in ways that logic alone never can. Sometimes souls leave early because their earthly lessons are complete. Sometimes their short lives awaken compassion, awareness, or spiritual transformation in countless others. There are people who lived only a few years yet inspired more love and awakening than those who lived an entire lifetime unconsciously. The soul does not measure life by length but by depth of experience and growth of consciousness. Perhaps this is why painful experiences often become powerful spiritual turning points. They force human beings to question life deeply instead of living mechanically. They remind us that everything in the material world is temporary. And because it is temporary, every moment becomes sacred. Every conversation, every embrace, every act of kindness carries immense value because nothing physical lasts forever. The real purpose of spirituality is not to escape life or fear death, but to awaken fully while we are here. To love more deeply, forgive more quickly, live more consciously, and remember our connection with the divine. And maybe the greatest awakening of all is realizing that death is not the opposite of life. Unconscious living is. The soul's true journey continues beyond this world. And those who awaken spiritually begin learning how to live with peace instead of fear, with awareness instead of attachment, and with love instead of regret. As we come to the end of this journey together, take one slow and peaceful breath and reflect deeply on everything we discussed today. Life is far more mysterious than the human mind can fully understand. Sometimes the people who leave this world early are not incomplete souls, but souls who completed their purpose in ways we may only understand much later. Their presence, their love, and even their departure may awaken something profound inside the hearts of others. If today's message touched your heart even a little, do not ignore that feeling. Use it as a reminder to live more consciously, to love more openly, and to stop postponing the things that truly matter. Spend time with the people you care about. Speak kindly. Forgive quickly. Take care of your inner peace because no one truly knows how much time they have in this human life. Inspired by the spiritual wisdom of Paramahansa Yogananda, let us remember that the soul is eternal, and every experience in life carries a deeper purpose for awakening. And now, I would truly love to hear from you. Have you ever lost someone at a young age? Or has this topic ever made you question life deeply? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below because your words may comfort someone silently going through pain right now. Also tell me, what spiritual topic would you like to hear in the next video? Your suggestions help this community grow together in wisdom, healing, and awareness. If this video brought you peace, clarity, or comfort, gently support the channel by liking, subscribing, and sharing this message with someone who may need it today. Until we meet again in the next spiritual journey, stay calm, stay aware, stay connected to the divine light within you. Jai Gurudev.